are going to compare the Rhodes MK8 to the Rhodes MK2. This is gonna be a very big one. For that, you should subscribe to this channel. Yeah. And yeah. Thank you. That's really help a lot. I'm gonna do this scientifically. So let's choose the categories. These are the categories that we are going to compare. Design and build, what's inside, keyboard action, sound character, connectivity, built-in effects, and price and value. So let's begin with design and build. Firstly, this is a unit that was built 2 years ago because this is the brand new MK8. This is made in the United Kingdom by the incredible people at Rhodes Music. I had it for just since it came out, basically. I was one of the first to have it. Whilst the MK2, this specific one is from 1980. It's got this sort of boxy, straight, squarish look to it, whilst the MK8 is a little bit more reminiscent of the MK1 with a nice rounded top. The wood is like super different because this is solid wood versus this sort of two legs vinyl covered MDF. As you can see in there, that's MDF. So right from the get, you can tell that build quality of the MK8 is a lot superior to the MK2. I happen to have a version with the suitcase, which is a very powerful and loud amp, whilst the Rhodes MK8, at least the one that I have at this stage, doesn't have any amplifier. I'm not sure which one is heavier, probably this one because it has the suitcase. Otherwise, it feels like the MK8 is a lot heavier because it's got a lot more metal, solid wood. The MK8, of course, is a brand new instrument and you can order it in various different finishes. You can have different colors for the front panel and you can have definitely different colors of hood, which we're going to remove really soon. In fact, let's do it right now. This is done. Now, what's inside? Okay, let's open up the MK2. Bang. How cool is that? That's so nice. It smells like time. You know, I mean, this unit has half a century of history, so of course, you know, it would smell like it. Pretty much, you've got a wooden board with the coils that are attached to this piece of metal. In there, you get the tines, as you can see, right? So the mechanism is, well, pretty much the same, except to verify that, we have to use a screwdriver here. Pull it there, and it's out. Look at that. That is so new. So the design is pretty much the same. I mean, the material obviously are modern materials, so it would have a different look to it. But as you can see, the mechanism is exactly the same. So no difference in that respect. Just for your curiosity, my MK8 is number 75, which I believe is the last of the first batch. This is actually 75 years of Rhodes. So when this was built, it was exactly 75 years from the first Rhodes. So I'm super lucky because I also have 075 number, which is quite cool. Versus my MK2, this is 771500 is the serial number. And this, if I'm correct, means 1980, the 45th week. Also, this is quite different because basically the legs and the bottom of it are one piece and the entire thing can be lifted, right? So underneath it's actually empty. Underneath it actually has a grill. You can see the mechanism and you can even see through it. See, this is my hand. There you go. So in that respect, it's very different to the Mark II. The MK8, of course, has also replaceable tops, which is super cool. You got to admit, this is super slick. Do you prefer it with the red hood or with the transparent hood? Let me know in the comments. Comment below. There you go. This segment is kindly sponsored by La La La. Let's see how it works. Stem splitter. It extracts vocals, instrumental, drums, bass, guitar, and it does it really, really well. I've tried it. Voice cleaner. Let's try it. It's noisy here. Let's clean up these vocals with La La La. It's noisy here. Let's clean up these vocals with La La La. You can even isolate the noise. Voice changer. I'm gonna sing a song with La La La. Tack. Ivar the Groat.
I'm gonna sing a song with La La La.
Oh yeah, Stasia.
I'm gonna sing a song with La La La.
Voice cloner. You record a few minutes of your voice and it models you. This is 10 minutes of me speaking. There you go. Each morning the sun would rise over the hills, casting a golden glow over the fields. Wow! You can even remove echo and reverb and also split lead vocals from backing vocals. That's right. Support my channel by clicking on the link in the description and find out about La La La. Keyboard action. Alright, so on this one you will have to trust my judgment because you can't really touch it, can you? Because this is a video. So this feels very, very firm. It feels like an expensive piano because the keys to this Rhodes MK8 are made by the same company that makes the keys for Steinway pianos. So when you lay your fingers on this, you can feel that, look, there's no wobbling, there's very little wiggle. All the keys are super firm. Also, as you can tell, there is not much bounce back, which is great because you can do things like this. Right? And it feels firm. It feels like you can play all of the dynamics of this easily. Like. So it's so precise that the range of expression is, in my opinion, a lot wider compared to the Mark II, which instead has very wobbly keys. Look at that. Also, this is, again, 50 years old or something. For a real comparison, we should wait about 50 years and then play that again. So that's not gonna happen. So the touch on the MK2 is a lot lighter. And also, as you can see, there is such a bounce. Let me do a slow motion of this. Yeah? So basically it bounces back and forth before resting, which means it takes a minute before it can replay it consistently. So you can still do this, but it's a lot less precise. So it may bounce back on time, it may not bounce back on time. So that's how it's different. So it's a little bit lighter. And also the dynamic control isn't as precise. Let's try and do the same. You know what I mean? Like it's got like 4 or 5 levels of dynamics. Like super quiet. It won't play quieter than this. And if I play super hard, it doesn't have the same amount of gradient, if you will. Especially on the low end, right? Sometimes it will not play at all. Like, check the difference, yeah? Versus. Do you know what I mean? I really have to try hard. But with this, I could play classical music, you know? Not that I can, but... Versus... It's like a little bit hit and miss, you know? It's not as precise. Having said that, they have two amazing feelings. I mean... Which brings me to the most important category. Sound character. Now here is where I believe we're gonna get the most comments. Firstly, I want you to tell me how does the MK2 feels different to the MK8. Let's go. 3, 4. You know, it's just different. I think that the Mark 8 is more precise, more controlled. Again, it's a brand new instrument and it's got a very precise keypad. So yeah? I think this is more precise in a way. And this is slightly more nasal. Let's see in the upper register. Right? I love them equally. I love them 2 bits, in fact. You know, there are things that I can do on this piano that I cannot do on that piano, though. Please write in the comments what do you think about the difference in sound. Next! Connectivity! So this Mark II specifically is a suitcase. So firstly you have straight 240 volts if you are in the UK, like I am. You got a headphone out. I use this dummy because I don't want to listen to the sound of the speakers right now. Here you have power amp input. This allows you to use the suitcase just as a regular amplifier. Whilst up here you got preamp output. The suitcase connects to the actual piano via this multi-connector. And right in front you have accessory, which is basically a send and return, which allows you to put a guitar style pedal. Let me show you one. It's basically just an insert point that not only allows you to put a pedal through it, but also to take the signal straight from the pickup before the built-in effects, which we're going to discuss later on. So that's the connectivity of the Mark II. On the Mark 8, well, we have a lot more, obviously. Firstly, we have balanced outputs, which means the signal is a lot cleaner, which means you can use long cables without getting any interference. you still have a regular unbalanced jack left and right, and send and return as well. Send and return. It's exactly the same. But unlike the Mark II, the Mark 8 has an external power adapter, which I think is better because, you know, the power supply is one of the first things that can go wrong. And like this, you can exchange it, but also you can use it in different countries without worrying having to rewire things inside of it. So that's a good one. And it's not finished, because on this side, here you have two control inputs where you can put expression pedals to control some of the parameters of the effects. Also, you have MIDI connection. This is for when the MIDI is going to be implemented in this machine. At this moment, I don't have it. And then you have a USB port, which you can use for various different things. Effects here are digital, so you can actually upgrade firmware and other things. Next, built-in effects. Now, the Mark II only comes with the vibrato and an EQ, right? So let me show you how they sound. Yeah, got the intensity here. And the speed here. I usually like it quite mellow, like that. The vibrato is very heavy because it pans really hard and really fast. So it's almost like a square wave type of left to right. Not exactly, but you know, a soft square wave. But especially if you have headphones on, you can tell how dramatic the change from one channel to the other is. Yeah. And then you have bass. I usually keep it all the way up, to be honest with you. My favorite sound for the Rhodes is lots of bass. Super smooth. The top end is quite bright. Right? And that's about it. Whilst the MK8 comes with a lot more. So here's the preamp section. You can drive it. You can overdrive it. You can use the envelope. Basically, the envelope makes the equalizer follow the dynamic. So you pull the gain up. Basically, it sweeps through the frequency. So if you start from here, it sounds wah, wah, but if you put it in the middle, now it's resonating the top part of it. So all the game is around here. Or you can have it the other way around. You can cut it. So sounds super different, right? But let's concentrate on the sound of the equalizer, because it's a lot more sophisticated than the MK2. So the low end sounds like this. Let's compare them with lots of low end. Yes, and then you have the mids. If anything, I like to cut a little bit of, you know, the 200-300. Put a bit of bass, and then put a bit of top. have to adjust this because I think I moved it a little bit too close. One thing about the Rhodes piano is that it's an instrument that you take care of just like a guitar. Inevitably, when you have a Rhodes, you have to learn how to set it up yourself because it's part of the beauty of the sound and part of the beauty of the instrument that you can touch things and make them sound harder or softer or more in phase or out of phase depending on how you move the coil compared to the tine. So yeah, top end. It's quite cool, right? Pretty cool, right? Lovely. Now let's check the vibrato, which on the Mark 8 is called varipan. So you can choose different waves here. See, this is more like a square wave, more similar to the original. So it goes like this. Quite hard. If you want, this is inverted sawtooth. What is it called? Ramp? And it also goes super fast. Yeah, you can't do that on a Mark II, can you? Triangle wave. And finally, like a semi-gentle sine wave, I believe, which is the most close to the MK2. That's what I tend to use. But there's more, because here in this section, which is optional, it costs a little bit more to have this section of effects. You can hit compressor, and the compressor makes your sound from this to this. This is the makeup gain, and this is the amount of compression. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit so that you can hear the sound of it. It's pretty cool, right? And then you have this super smooth chorus. I love the chorus. Oh, isn't that just beautiful? Crazy, right? Phaser. Right. Finally, we have a delay here, and it sounds pretty awesome. Hit like if you like this. Yes. Yes. And also you can tap tempo. So cut, 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 cut. got everything. Chorus, phaser, vary, pan, and it sounds like this. Yeah. Let's get to the last point. Zik. Price and value. For this one, we have to pull out my laptop. The MK8 at the moment, you can only find it brand new. This version has the effects and it's $10,000. This version is $12,000. Oh, because it's got stand 73. Not sure the difference. Oh, now this is the walnut. Like this is the one that I have, the deluxe, and this is like 13 grand, obviously. This is a number 11 of 75. I think that's 22 grand. Yeah, that's quite expensive. Let's check out Mark II. A Mark II, you can find one for 6 grand, 4 grand, 4 grand. Let's see, does any of this have a suitcase? Yeah, this one. Yeah, they want 9 grand and a half for that, which is fair. They're quite rare. Oh, but this guy's selling it for 5,700. That's pretty good. It's a 19, this is exactly like mine. So probably it'll set you back by around this much. So which one do you prefer? Which one would you buy? Remember to click on the link in the description for the kind sponsors of today's video. They support this channel. Give them some love back. Just a mix.